In this video, I will talk about the crazy results I got from a version of monk mode I did. And in this video, I will talk about Iman Gadzhi, who he is, what he does, what monk mode is, and my take on it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So who is Iman Gadzhi? Iman Gadzhi is a Russian-born entrepreneur, and at a young age, he was forced to take care of his mother, which also forced him to make more money, which pushed him into the direction of being an entrepreneur. He started by selling and buying social media accounts, Instagram accounts, and later on his journey, he tried dropshipping and social media marketing agencies. And now, with the last one, with the marketing agency, he proves to be really successful. And that's the business that he came through with, making him worth over 25 million at only an age of 23 years old. That is pretty impressive. So what is the secret to his success? What is monk mode? Monk mode is a program that you have to do for a minimum of 3 weeks and a maximum of 3 months. It consists of 10-minute daily meditation, 30 minutes of exercise, and no alcohol or drugs. Those are the non negotiables. And the thought behind this is that balance is a lie, and you need full immersion in the goals you're trying to reach. And what does he mean by that? Well, he means that if you go out working on your goal, and at the end of the day, you start drinking and you start going to bed late or anything like that, it has influence on reaching your goals. If you don't do that, next day you will have a better mind state, you'll be better focused, and you are more in a better state to work on your goals. And also, it puts you in a momentum. So we're used to doing something and then take a rest and reward ourselves. We work hard, then we deserve a beer. We work hard and then we deserve a beer. What this does is that it is losing a lot of momentum. So when you skip those moments and you just go, 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 there's also momentum and a compounding effect because you keep focusing on the stuff you're trying to reach and there's no disruptions. You're just going. And if you do that for a minimum of 3 weeks, you get in this crazy, crazy productive workflow. Let's zoom in on the non-negotiables. So the first one, 10 minutes of daily meditation. What does this do for you? 10 minutes of daily meditation. Well, you don't have to be like a really, really spiritual person to understand that this meditation thing gives you a lot of rest because a lot of stuff what you get into your brain, what your brain is busy with is your vision, the stuff you see, because the eyes are attached to the brain. So if you close your eyes and just focus on your breath, there is so much more bandwidth to think, to go inward, to get some rest. And if you do this for 10 minutes a day, you will notice that you are less distracted, you feel less urge to go on your phone, to start having cheat meals or to have some alcohol. You will just notice that you have a lot more rest inside of you. And that doesn't happen from meditating one time. Again, this program has a minimum of 3 weeks. So that's also the stuff that is required for you to see some effect on the meditation. If you like this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Really big impact. A lot of people reporting pretty uh, crazy results with just 10 minutes of meditation a day. He also said, well, if you can't make 10, then you need to do even 30. And that statement comes from if you are so busy in your mind, you only have 10 minutes of meditation a day, 10 minutes time, then you're way too busy and you need to cut in more rest immediately. So that's the thought behind that sentence. 30 minutes of exercise. Well, exercise is, as we all know, pretty important because the brain, your mind is in your body. So your body needs to be in an optimal state to reach your goals. And what are the ways there to optimize your body and to train it? So do some training, do running, do some fitness, do some boxing, do whatever you want, but make sure it's 30 minutes a day to get your body into that optimal state. And don't worry about rest days because rest days are really, really overrated. You can easily train 30 minutes a day, it's no problem at all. And the last point is no alcohol and no drugs, and sometimes even no caffeine. And why is this in this program? Of course, alcohol is a really, really big distractor. It's a drug. It makes your mind unclear, and the same goes for drugs. It makes your mind unclear. You get hungover next day. You'll be out of an optimal state. So it's really, really holding you back. And more and more studies come out that alcohol is actually really, really bad for you. It's like poison, so it's better not to touch it. And with caffeine, which I made in another video, which I will link somewhere around here, is that when you drink caffeine, it puts you in this really, really productive state. And that state is only reached when you drink caffeine and it puts you in a hurry. It puts some sort of a productivity mode on in your head, which is not natural. So when you quit caffeine, you feel more and more rested, and then you can actually think and also handle from that rest, be productive from the rest in your mind instead of this caffeine fake productivity motivation that's in your head because you drink a lot of coffee. So that's the reason why also he does a lot of times cut out caffeine. So these were the three main things of Iman Gadzhi's monk mode. What is my variation on monk mode? Well, for me, the Iman Gadzhi's monk mode is a nice step into the right direction, but for me, there needs to be more stuff in there to really get you into that momentum, to really force you into it. This so for me, it's really more inspired on 75 Hard, which I also have a video, which I will also link somewhere here. But for me, it needs to be more rigid and more strict. So for me, I always add being outside for when I do the challenge 45 minutes or 30 minutes. I drink 1 gallon of water every day. I read 10 pages of a non-fiction book. I take to walk outside and I do no cheating at all. Also, not on food. So, not only alcohol and drugs, but also food because um, yeah, I want to make it more strict. And why do I add the 1 gallon of water? Well, if you train twice a day, if you work out and you also start walking or running, you will need a lot of water, more than you will actually think. So drink that water. It will make you really clear headed and you will notice difference after only a few days. So, reading 10 pages out of a non-fiction book. Well, next to meditation, reading out of a book also puts your mind in a really nice state. It will put you in a state of creativity, of solving problems. So, it's pretty good to keep your mind active by reading 10 pages out of a non-fiction book per day. Besides that, going outside, I think going outside is really, really important. You are, as a human, are a part of nature, so you need to be outside. You need to get some sunlight, just take a walk or start running, but you need to be outside every day. If it's raining, if there's sun, it doesn't matter. You need to go outside. And the last one is no cheat days. We talked about momentum in the previous chapters, and I feel like that when you are able to cheat, when you just are able to eat candy and cheat meals, then you lose the momentum because you are still rewarding yourself with that food. So if you're also uh, getting that out of your way, like the cheat, like the bad foods and the exercising, there is nothing that you can hold on to. You just have to go and you just have to work, and there's no excuses, which accelerates that momentum you want, that flow, that crazy flow you want to get into. Of course, this is all in addition to the tasks in the monk mode. So it's all an addition. So the 10 minutes daily meditation, the 30 minutes of exercise, and no alcohol or no drugs. What will happen when you start doing this? Well, the first thing is you will start detoxing physically and mentally. So when you start at first physically, you'll feel really sore when you start training every day. But being sore is no excuse to stop training. That will end eventually when your body gets used to it. Also, you will start detoxing mentally. So you'll start to feel like shit. You start feeling insecure. Every bad feeling that you have will come up, and it's really key that you break through that pattern. So these things are normally the stuff that keep you from growing, to keep you from going beyond your potential. So when you get those detox symptoms, you get sore, you feel like shit, that's the sign that you need to push through a little bit, because what will happen after that is you will get into that flow state that I was mentioning. You'll feel sharp. Some people, like for example Rob Derrick, he calls it magnetic mode, and that means you get your body in such a state that ideas will come to you. They will attract to you. So they come up when you think, when you meditate, ideas just pop up in your head. He calls it magnetic mode. And some call it flow state. You give it a name, but that's the state you will get into when you do this stuff. Why there's a minimum of 30 days and a maximum of 3 weeks, because you need some time to get into it, but there's also a momentum to this. So max 30 days, max, some say with the 75 hard challenge, it's 75 days. And I think that's indeed an ideal time span to be in that flow state, because otherwise you will just, something happens and you will snap out of it. So there also needs some balance. So it's really good to just be in that state for a month or 2 months and then get out of it and then do another cycle of that. So, can I recommend Iman Gadzhi's monk mode? I certainly can. It's a really good way, a really good, uh, not too hard way to get yourself into that flow state, into that what he calls monk mode. And you see Iman Gadzhi, how successful he is. It's really, this is really a big part of his success. He immerses himself, he focuses. There's nothing other than working on his business for 60 days. And that really helps a lot. You can also start with 75 hard, which is, in my opinion, a little bit more harder, but it's, yeah, you need to start somewhere, and it's a really good place to start. So I can recommend to anybody, start with this monk mode and see the results for yourself. If you like this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and let me know if you know about this monk mode, if you're planning on trying it, and maybe you have some alternatives to get into monk mode. So please let me know down in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. No distractions, no alcohol. Ah.